The Spot, National Film Board's up-to-the-minute report on what's going on somewhere in Canada. This week and every week, NFB camera crews are on the spot where things are happening, recording the varied and colorful life of Canadians. Tonight we invite you to join a film board crew with Fred Davis on another location.
Okay, 10 minutes off for coffee, then come back.
You know, my boss always told me to be on the lookout for human interest stories. Well, I'm human, and I'm real interested. But seriously, a lot of people, myself included, have never taken the trouble to go to see a live ballet performance, and I figure we've been missing something. When I first came in here, I was of the opinion that ballet was something that was strictly for the highbrows. Maybe you feel the same way, but you know that's really not the case. First of all, I'd like you to meet a very busy individual.
George, you've got to have the theater on the 9th. That's right. We can't make the tour if we don't. Fine. Now listen, George, about the new doorway for Shadow on the Prairie. Is it in? Well, he's had the plans for 3 weeks. All right. And no more than $30. Okay.
Mr. Gettle?
Yes?
You're the general manager of the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, aren't you?
That's right.
I'd like to take our audience on a tour behind the scenes here, but I think in all fairness I should tell you first that I don't know a thing about ballet.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
What do you mean by that?
Well, one of my biggest headaches is the fact that a lot of people think they either have to be exposed to ballet for years or have special knowledge about it before they can enjoy it.
And that isn't necessary.
No, after all, ballet is just another medium of entertainment, actually, like television or radio or movies.
Oh, yes, but there you have a story or a plot to follow.
Well, so have many ballets.
Yes, but I'm talking about real stories, you know, with characters and action and that sort of thing.
Well, would you call a story that had burlesque queen, gangsters, chorus girls, murder, comedy, would you call that a real story?
Oh, sure.
Well, we've got a story like that in rehearsal right now, Chapter 13.
Well, that sounds interesting enough. What's it all about?
It takes place in New York, a side street in New York. On the street are an artist and his girlfriend, who are joined by a policeman and the policeman's friend Nora, who is a waitress. Chorus girls from a nearby burlesque house come along. The real story starts with the arrival of Dawn O'Day, the burlesque queen, and her gangster lover, Ace Vanetti. Ace and Dawn dance together. But already trouble is brewing. Dawn has taken a shine to the artist. She succeeds in getting rid of Ace by sending him to her dressing room to pick up one of her gloves. As soon as he's gone, Dawn O'Day tries to lure the artist away from his girlfriend.
Is she successful?
The artist's resistance isn't particularly strong. Ace, having found them out, flies into a rage. He sends for his thugs and orders them to kill the artist. Dawn O'Day, conscience-stricken, pleads for the artist's life. She uses every trick at her command to persuade Ace to change his mind, but unsuccessfully. He slaps her face in fury while the crowd stands aghast. A policeman is summoned. The thugs return with a hapless artist, and Ace is about to do away with him when the policeman interferes and gets killed in the process.
All right, rest a minute. Patty, try and look a little more horrified when he dies. Let's go back again, just before he's shot.
The story ends rather tragically. Dawn O'Day steals Ace's gun and gives it to the policeman's grief-stricken girlfriend, Nora. She kills Ace, and then, unable to face the consequences of her act, commits suicide. That's it in a nutshell.
Well, I never knew that ballet could be so earthy. But then, some ballets don't tell a story, do they?
No, there are different kinds of ballets. There's the story or character ballet, which we've just seen, and the classical ballets, such as Swan Lake, and the abstract ballets.
Abstract? You mean like in a painting?
Yes, in a way.
Well, isn't that too arty?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, an abstract ballet can be as entertaining to an audience as a ballet that tells a story.
In other words, your ultimate goal, then, is to try to please everybody, is it?
Well, that's a little difficult. But we try to have something in every ballet that will appeal to every taste.
Well, that certainly sounds like a problem, but it's very interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Gettle. Well, now that we've had the basic aspects of ballet explained to us, we mustn't think that it's that simple. The dancers have to act out their stories and ideas and moods, but behind every step is a carefully rehearsed movement, and this takes years of training.
Ready, go.
You've got to start early in this business, anywhere from 6 to 12 years, because an awful lot of training is required.
Up, down, and back.
But quite apart from development and training, anyone who wants to be a part of ballet must be born with certain basic characteristics. The stature must be normal. Arms and legs and torso must be in proportion, not too long, not too short. There must be a certain muscular and bone structure. Even the facial outline must be pleasing or better than average. In the case of male dancers, strength is especially important. As an illustration of why boys need strength, let's repeat the dance between the artist and Dawn O'Day. A male ballet dancer is often called upon to lift and carry weights of 115 pounds for long periods of time. While doing this, he's required to dance gracefully himself, not showing the strain. He must have extraordinary stamina. A ballet can last as long as 2 hours. 2 hours of dancing, jumping, leaping, and lifting. These ballet people would do wonders in high jumping and broad jumping events at a track and field meet. Now watch this scene. It takes place before the policeman is shot. This corpse weighs 175 pounds.
Okay, kids, cut.
Well, up until now, we've been concerning ourselves with the dancing part of ballet. Now I'd like you to meet some of the dancers themselves. Arnold Spohr from Saskatchewan is not only a brilliant dancer, but a choreographer of note, having already created 2 for this company. He has a firm belief in the future of the Winnipeg Ballet, which has caused him to turn down many offers, including that of a scholarship to study ballet in Paris. Jean Stoneham, born in Edinburgh. While still quite young, she moved to Vancouver and there took her first ballet training. Later, she moved east and became a member of the Ottawa Ballet, and for 5 years was their prima ballerina. She made her debut with the Winnipeg Ballet at the Royal Command performance in October of 1951. Eva von Genci, Hungarian-born, first studied dancing at the Russian Ballet Academy in Budapest. She was solo dancer for 3 years with the Salzburg Opera House. In 1948, she came to Canada and, hearing of the Winnipeg Ballet, headed for the West and put in a year working as a domestic under the displaced persons quota, with the Winnipeg Ballet as her goal at the end of that time. She is now, of course, a leading ballerina with the company. Bill McGrath, born in Cumberland, Vancouver Island, joined the Winnipeg Ballet in May of 1951. He has danced 5 seasons with Vancouver's famous Theater Under the Stars. Gordon Wales, born in Medicine Hat. He did solo roles for 3 seasons at the Theater Under the Stars and also appeared with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. This is his 3rd season with the Winnipeg Ballet. Well, now I'd like you to meet the slave driver around here. Mrs. Farrelly, you're the producer and ballet mistress, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
What are the functions of a ballet mistress?
Well, first of all, I watch the choreographer teach the ballet, and then I take it over and rehearse it. I keep the dancers in training by giving them classes, and I try to keep the girls thin and fatten up the boys.
It sounds like it might be troublesome at times. Would you tell us just what goes into setting up a new ballet?
Well, first of all, we have to get an idea for a ballet. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it isn't. Then if we're lucky, we get the music specially written. If not, we have to find music. Then we bring in set designers and costume designers, and the choreographer teaches the ballet, and after that, we just rehearse it until we put it on.
This business of choreography, could you explain that to me in nice, simple language?
Well, it's the steps that the dancers do in a design round the stage to convey either a mood or a story.
In other words, what we see sitting in the audience is that pattern up there and the actual steps that the dancers employ. Is that right?
That's right. I have a book here. Would you like to see it?
Yes, very much.
The letters, you see, represent the dancers, and those lines represent where they go on the stage.
Well, that looks something like football strategy.
Yes, it's much the same principle.
Of course, it doesn't make too much sense to me because I'm not a football player either.
We'll give you an illustration. Okay, kids, go back to the part where Nora kills Ace. Just before this, Donna Day has given the gun to Nora, and now she's really going after him, and she's going to kill him at the end. Music, please. Ace is trying to escape. Notice the movements are carefully worked out to accentuate fear. She kills him. Okay, kids, cut.
Oh, I get the idea now. Well, once you've worked out the choreography with the dancers, what happens then?
We just go on rehearsing and rehearsing until we get it as good as possible, and that's what I have to do now. Okay, kids, please. Back to where things come.
Well, quite naturally, we're reluctant to leave this pleasant location here in Manitoba with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet Company. But our plans call for a move further west, so we have to pack up and hit the road again. This is Fred Davis, hoping you'll join us next week at the same time for another on-the-spot Canadian story.